Surprise. This is the presentation. Yeah, that's what you write. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Dallas and the 2023 Eliminate Tobacco Use Summit. It's great to be here with so many friends, both in person as well as virtually. This is our first hybrid summit. It's number 8 in the series, but it's our first attempt at a hybrid summit, and we're hoping this all goes smoothly. But as I was just speaking with Jennifer Kofer, we know we're among friends who are here focused on the health and wellness of our population. So what could go wrong? So again, we're delighted that you're able to join us. I just have a few words of introduction here at the beginning, and let me start just by reminding you that this is a joint initiative of the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center as well as the University of Texas System. And again, started about 8 years ago, but so glad to see that this has spread far beyond the borders of our state and now involving partners from really around the country. So again, just a couple of words regarding why we are here and why we've come together in this manner. It may seem a bit unusual to you that a cancer center would unite with the university system to try to address the issue of tobacco and nicotine addiction. But we do so because of the founding premise, some of which is captured on this slide. First of all, institutions of higher education are innovative and progressive by their very nature and designed really to create tomorrow's leaders. Maintaining health and wellness is a very important part of leadership for an institution or for us as individuals. And the second premise is that it's estimated as more than 99% of those who use tobacco products started before the age of 26. And so the constituencies that we serve as institutions of higher education are directly aligned with the population we're intending to reach. And this, in essence, again, is tomorrow's leaders. The third point on this slide points out that institutions of higher education are also committed to public benefit and the public's welfare. And so there's an inherent responsibility also to pay attention to major threats to health and wellness and to try to promote the public's health through a variety of different programs, standards, and policies. And all of that is a part of what brings us together. So captured on this slide, since its inception, we've tried to simplify the notion of eliminate tobacco use and the whole goal that we're striving to achieve. The major point of coming together is to try to address tobacco use and instill tobacco-free cultures now and going forward across all colleges, universities, and institutions of higher education, even including community colleges and trade schools, ultimately. We operate in 3 key domains, and these will be the topic of the day's discussion as well as tomorrow's, which has a state focus. And that's, first of all, policy. Second, educational programs directed either toward peers on the campus or toward the populations of the campus. And then finally, cessation or services. And at MD Anderson, we have an acronym PES, which is Latin for feet, the feet of the institution out into the community, policy, education, and services, depicted here as policy, prevention, and cessation. Another very important point comes at the bottom of this slide, and that is, why do we do this work? It's essentially to try to promote a tobacco-free culture that touches the lives of our faculty, our staff, our students, our patients, if indeed we're healthcare organizations, and finally, the communities in which we're vested. So with that as a brief introduction, let me now turn it over to my colleague, Dr. David Lakey, who's joining us virtually, I believe, to take us through the rest of the introduction. David, I'll hand it over to you.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. And Ernie, it's hard to believe this is our 8th year being part of this. And so thank you to MD Anderson, to yourself, to Jennifer Kofer, to Alex, the rest of your team for your steadfast support and leadership and putting on this conference each year and the support we've been able to give to our universities. This is our 8th annual Eliminate Tobacco Use Summit, and we are very pleased that you chose to spend a few hours with us today. Many of you will be spending time with us tomorrow. And again, thank you for doing that. Because we're here because tobacco use is still the leading cause of preventable disease and death. Many of us have lost loved ones and friends much too early because of the harmful effects of tobacco. We have known about the impact of tobacco on our health for a very long time. It literally has been my whole life. I was born on January 8th, 1964, and the first U.S. Surgeon General's report came out on January 11th. So really, it has been literally throughout my life that we've known that tobacco is harmful to our health. But here we are. We still have significant work to do. Since then, there's been 34 Surgeon General's reports that have provided us additional information. But we still have a lot of work to go. If we go to the next slide, we have a couple of the just data points about where we are in the United States related to tobacco use and its impact on our health. An estimated 50.6 million U.S. adult use any tobacco use or product. It's very costly. You can see the numbers here of what it costs the United States related to the impact of tobacco. A lot of, over 480,000 people in the United States die from smoking or secondhand smoke. And for every smoker related to death, there's at least 30 people who live with a serious smoking related illness. It has a significant impact here in my home state. In my home state, our rate of tobacco use has declined, but we still have 3.1 million Texans smoking. And our youth e-cigarette rate is 3 times that of our cigarette smoking rate at 19% versus 5%. We can't lose sight of doing what we know works in our respective roles, whether it's in public health, academia, research, healthcare, or our community-focused groups. The speakers today will look at the national data and trends on tobacco products use in our youth and our adults. As many of you already know, MD Anderson and the University of Texas system began this collaboration in 2015 to reduce tobacco use on our campus. The first thing we had to do was get our own house in order. We've been working intently in our universities, and we're proud to say that University of Texas system now is 100% tobacco free. We've been that way since 2017. Since then, other Texas colleges and universities have joined us, and now this event is open to anyone who wants to learn more about what they can do at their work site, whether it's a college, university, hospital, community, health departments, or nonprofits. So again, thank you for joining us, and I hope you will learn new things and actionable steps for dissemination, replication, and impact to eliminate tobacco. We really are excited to have more than 435 colleagues joining us today. They come from 29 states, from DC, and from the country of Palau. So for our visitors from Palau, it is great to have you here today. This is our 8th conference and the first time to run as a hybrid. And so bear with us as our team works hard to have the virtual attendees feel like they're in the room with the rest of you at UT Southwestern today. I now will transition to Dr. Kevin Everett at the University of Missouri. Kevin, it's great to have you here and leading the team from Missouri. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure. Yeah, I've participated in ETU conferences since 2018. We received a grant in 2020. So we've been able to have more of a statewide Missouri Eliminate Tobacco Use since that time. And what a great partnership that we've been able to have with MD Anderson and the UT system. And by great partners, I mean knowledgeable, great resources, and also partners who recognize that each state, each university is going to have their own way of solving problems, but really providing some best practices and some evidence whenever possible. Thank you. Next slide. We just want to point out we have a social media presence, and feel free to join in on that. We're looking forward to a great day tomorrow with very Missouri-centric topics to be covering with our tobacco control efforts. Next. We'll turn it over to Diane, another great partner in New Jersey. Everyone have a great conference. We're really looking forward to this.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Lakey and Dr. Hawk, for the leadership and commitment to this work. And welcome to all of you in-person and virtual attendees. Greetings from New Jersey. I'm Diane Litterer. I'm the CEO of the New Jersey Prevention Network. And as the representative of the Tobacco Free for Healthy New Jersey, we're really excited to once again be partnering with all of you in this National ETU Summit, and to bring these amazing resources to our partners at colleges across New Jersey. Our New Jersey Department of Health recognizes the critical role college and universities play in addressing this growing public health issue for young people, and shows their commitment through funding Tobacco Free for Healthy New Jersey's NJ Quits program, which allows us to support campuses to do their good work in creating 100% tobacco-free policies. Last year, since last year's summit, we're super excited to be able to report that we've had some major successes in that regard in both Rutgers University, going 100% tobacco-free across all of their campuses, as well as Georgian Court. So this adds almost 68,000 students that now go to school and attend a school where they can breathe clean air and also receive services and support for their tobacco and nicotine use. We're super excited also to tomorrow host the New Jersey Summit. It'll be virtual for us and participants from New Jersey. But we have a great lineup of speakers, both Nation Hornsby, who's our assistant commissioner, who's been so committed to this work. We'll be able to welcome all the attendees. Our workshops are going to include a session on mental health, LGBTQ, and student tobacco use. And we'll have 2 panels with both national experts as well as experts from the colleges here in New Jersey sharing their challenges and successes and how to implement strong policies in this space. So we're super excited to be here. Excited to have a component of in-person. I'm excited about that and seeing how a hybrid method works. Looks like it's working great so far. And so we welcome any participants here that from New Jersey or others that want to attend our summit tomorrow. And so we'll be excited to continue the work and learn from today and through tomorrow. So thank you very much for having the New Jersey folks here with you.
All right, turning it over to Roger Anderson, if you're there. Dr.
Yes,
Anderson?
yes.
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much. It's very good to be here. I co-lead this program with Bernard Femler from VCU. So this is now, we just held our 4th annual summit last Friday. And actually, this was our first in-person summit since 2019. So I think it was really a great event. I think everybody felt good to be in the same room and roll up our sleeves and work on our tobacco policies. We had really good attendance. We had 11 universities and colleges, 5 other organizations as well. And I think at this session today, I understand we have 16 colleges and universities from Virginia in attendance. A key feature of our summit last Friday was a workshop that was designed to help attendees build skills in advocating and advancing their tobacco policies at their schools. And each attendee also was paired with a regional coordinator from the Virginia Department of Health tobacco program to really help them going forward in trying to navigate the changes that they want to put in place. And so I think what we're really building here is a really strong support group for all of the attendees who want to change and improve their tobacco policies and reach that pinnacle of becoming tobacco free. Another key feature of the Virginia and tobacco use group and the great steering committee we have is that we actually did a policy analysis of all of the tobacco policies in the schools here in the state. And then we're able to put together a grading system of A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then we sent out draft report cards to each of the schools and universities and are now in the process of finalizing that. And those will all go on a dashboard that will be hosted by the Virginia Department of Health. But those report cards are really vital because it really points out how each university or college can improve their score. And it also kind of stimulated that need to really do so. I mean, no one likes to get a D or a C. And so if you do have one of those grades, you want to see, well, what can we do to improve it? And so I think a lot of our time was spent on looking at how you can improve your tobacco policies, again, with the total goal, the ultimate goal of becoming tobacco free. So it was a really great day. You can see some of the photos up on the slide today. And so I think we're making great progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. So I'm going to give you a snapshot for those attending Texas Summit tomorrow. I've had the privilege to lead the Texas Summit along with Dr. Hawk and Lakey since 2015 when we started the initiative. But for tomorrow's lineup, we're going to have our Department of State Health Services bring new data on the adult use and the youth use in the state of Texas. We will go through also our tobacco-free college campus list in the state of Texas and see who has become 100% tobacco-free, who's improved their policy, and who still needs to do some work. So thank you to our partners at UT Austin who collect that list. We also will have a DFW focus since we're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They'll talk about their experiences on campuses. And then we have some breakouts tomorrow between our healthcare institutions and our college campuses focusing on students. And then we'll end with a dynamic student voice panel for tomorrow. So since we've sold you all on joining a summit in some shape, form, or fashion tomorrow, you are here today for the National Eliminate Tobacco Use Summit. But we're thankful for these partners. We had partners that joined us early on and said, we want to replicate this in our state. So if you're from another state, we want to talk with you and see how we can replicate this in your state and make it your own. New Jersey's made it their own, Virginia's made it their own, Missouri's made it their own, and you know how we do it in Texas. I'll leave that phrase out because everybody's joining from all the states, but we are excited for the 8th annual Eliminate Tobacco Use Summit. We are thankful for many partners who put this together. It is our first hybrid, so we're going to fumble on a couple things like, you know, the parking. That is okay. You just go out the in and in the out. It's going to work. No, it's okay. We're making it work. Thank you again for all the partners behind the scenes that made this work. But for those online, I'm going to do a quick Zoom reminder that we have online digital programs for you on our website, eliminatetobaccouse.org/summit2023. It's a fillable PDF that you can take notes today. For those in person, you got a paper one, but if you want to take notes electronically, it's also there for you to fill out. Our program is there, the action plan. And I'm going to go through our summit agenda today as well. But if you haven't noticed already, we have open access Wi-Fi. You just hit UT Guest, add in your email and click accept, and you're online for your Wi-Fi, FYI. Also, Just want to take a moment to say thank you to our UT Southwestern partners as a host. So if you are from UT Southwestern, can you wave at us? We have several local, thank you very much. We've hosted this at MD Anderson. We've hosted this at UT Health Houston, our first time at UT in 2016. We rotated to UT Austin, AT&T Conference Center. So we've taken it on the road. So thank you, Dallas, for being a great host. That's a great reminder to put your cell phones on silent.
That's my phone.
Hilarious. That's going to happen. Awesome. You should answer it, Dr. Dunnington. I'm just kidding.
My phone on my computer.
It's amazing. We are so collaborative and just helpful. And that's our keynote speaker, Dr. Guy. She is in the house. Now we know. That's amazing. Now we know where you're. Okay. So that's a keynote. We have another colleague with us from FDA. Our first keynote, Dr. Priscilla Callahan-Lyon is here with us. We have Dr. Adam Leventhal joining us from the University of Southern California as well. And then we are going to have a panel where you can ask them all the questions at one time in a panel session right after Dr. Guy comes on and gives her talk as well. Then we have a student panel. We'll have students from Missouri and New Jersey online. We have students from Texas here, and the students are going to tell us what they're seeing on campus, what they need from us as decision makers and leaders, and tell us about their experiences with tobacco on campuses. And then we'll have our closing remarks. I think you have found the restrooms, which are out. Women to my right, probably your left, men to my left, your right. Refreshments out there for you to get throughout the day for those in person. We will have a lunch break for those online. We'll keep you informed when we go on break. But here is the new aspect we're going to test out. How to do some crowd engagement through a new fancy tool called Slido. So if you would like to scan this QR code and join us online, and the first question of the day, I will move to in just 1 second once people have scanned. And on Slido, maybe somebody can drop in the chat box just in case this Slido website. All right, so you just add in the code hashtag ETU 2023, and I think you're there. If I can get some nods in the room, if you're there, it's working. Okay, let us know, where are you joining from today? I know in the chat box, many people have already added this in. Sweet, you can actually put your city if you would like. You could put your state. Look at this word cloud come to life. I see it on the computer. There we go. I'm going to give folks more time. We have 437 people, I believe, joining this webinar today in person and online from 29 states. And again, I do want to highlight the furthest travel award at 8,059 miles is our friends from Palau. If you can wave your hands, yay. So those that experienced travel woes yesterday, they came 8,059. I'm kidding. No comparison. No, everyone, there was some major weather in DFW with ground stops at Love and DFW Airport. So we know and feel the pain for those that traveled in. Thank you for your resilience. All right. This is fun. Okay, so this is going to be keep up Slido on your phone. This is how we're going to do crowd engagement. Throughout the 2 days, we're also going to do speaker Q&A through this function. If you see there's polls on the top right that we're in, the Q&A is another little thing up at the top left. You just hit Q&A, and that's going to be our speaker question. We're going to field those questions and run it up to the speaker to answer. We also have volunteers here today with the mics for audience questions. So if those of you that have a question for our speakers, we ask that you wait till someone brings you a mic so that those on the webinar can hear your question from the audience. Okay, so this worked. Now we have one more question for our Slido engagement. We know where people are joining from. Our question is, What do you hope to gain from today's summit? It should have refreshed in your phone. What do you hope to gain from today's summit? Ideas, new data, new ways to engage youth and young adults, best practices, latest in tobacco control, resources, insights to help teens and young adults quit. Excellent. Thank you for using the chat box too. That works as well. New knowledge. This is great. Thank you. No pressure, keynote speakers. They need all these things. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all. Keep this up on your phone. We won't judge you if you're in your phone. We'll think you're on Slido asking a question, right? Okay, I am going to go back to our PowerPoint because I need to review the learning objectives because we are offering you CEUs. So it is only the best practice to read our learning objectives for you, because if you are receiving CMEs or CEUs, that's the one slide we need to read out so that you can get your CEUs. So I'm going to do a quick go up there really quickly to learning objectives and read these out for you guys. We hope that you are able to summarize current and anticipated tobacco product regulations and understand the product landscape that our keynote from the FDA Center for Tobacco Products is going to bring you. We hope that you can leave here tomorrow with knowing the patterns of tobacco use, poly-use, and treatment offerings for young adults. That's our constituency, the 18 to 24, 26 age group. Describe tobacco-related disparities and strategies to address tobacco use with a health equity lens within the higher education environment. And that's the topic Dr. Guy is going to be speaking about. And then understand the importance of student engagement on college and university campuses to address tobacco use with a focus on policy, prevention, education, and treatment services. And our student panel is going to help bring that to light. And then we want you to develop an action plan to go back home and implement these actions on your campus or with your community. And so that is our learning objectives for today. And I'll pop this back up just in case you need to sign in to receive your CEs. You need to scan this beautiful QR code for CEs, or you can go to the website link that I believe Tiffany is dropping in the chat box for the bit.ly to get to CEs. Thank you. So that you can sign in and sign out just so we can see, you can receive your CEs. We are offering that from two places. That is the continuing education contact hours at MD Anderson and the CEUs that the University of Houston Social Work College offers us as well. So again, I'll leave this QR code up for just 1 second. And thank you again if you're getting CHES credit or MCHES credit. There's directions for you there. This will be popping up during all the breaks. And the announcement is the link struggling? I see some head nods. Is it working? No? Okay, let's go to the chat box if you can. Otherwise, Tiffany Winter, can you wave at the audience? If you have CE questions, there's your girl. She's amazing. Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. If you have problems logging in or anything, let us know. She'll also be online in the chat box too. So we know those are important and a reason that some of us are attending to get these CE hours for our profession. So thank you. We are going to be in the Twitter world. We have colleagues at UT Austin Center for Health Communication wave at us as well. UT Austin Center for Health Communication. Yay. Thank you. They also brought the website to life, the design to life. We can give them applause. Yes, thank you. That was a little weak at first. But they are also running the Twitter chat. We use the hashtag eliminate tobacco, tobacco-free colleges, and tobacco-free communities. So if you want to follow us on that thread. All right, for any questions, we have Zoom or technical issues, access to the shared drive, post-summit, continuing education credits, state summit questions for tomorrow. Alex Hurst and Tiffany Winter are your go-tos at intobacco@mdanderson.org. I will recognize Alex Hurst for his amazing audiovisual work that's happening here in the background. He's up there in the corner. And all the operations. And again, we do have sound and technical guys on cameras and video today helping us out and making this Zoom webinar possible. So again, we're thankful to UT Southwestern for the host. I think that is all of our announcements, which were a lot. today, but again, hybrid meeting, new things. We've already chosen next year summit. It will not be next week, 2024, April 10th and 11th, to be determined how we show up in person or online or fully virtual. We'll keep you posted, but we're grateful to go ahead and share with you April 10th and 11th, 2024. So I'm going to call Dr. Hawk back up here to introduce our keynote speaker. And we are again, thank you for making time to be here. Let us know if you need anything throughout the day.